Who is Richard Hart, the cult leader? Have you heard of the Holy Bible, friends? One of the most popular books to ever be created. The Holy Bible will teach you all about the archetype that Richard Hart follows, especially as a leader. Now, friends, everybody's got like a psychological makeup, a personality style, if you will. You right? So, for example, me, I've always been the underdog. My parents are like blue-collar workers. They're immigrants. You know, they came from nothing. They rise to the top. And it's actually one of the reasons why I got hired in my first prop trading firm, you know, because one of the owners is basically like, I know you're going to work really, really hard. And he was right. He was right because you understand the value of a dollar, because you could see my upbringing up here. And friends, it speaks true. I'm always like a man of the people, right? Because I am the people. You see? Okay, Richard Hart, though, he's different. Richard's very smart, high IQ, and everyone's got their own shtick, you know what I mean, friends? Everyone's got their own, just the way they kind of like put the pieces of the puzzle together. But once you understand this, you'll actually understand that PulseChain, HEX, the better Bitcoin, PulseX, pDAI, the people's DAI, PWBTC, the people's Bitcoin, they're all going to pump really, really hard, and they're going to trap everyone for 4 years again. Okay, so look at this picture, friends. You see Richard, the great Richard, leading everybody. Okay, and here I am, the crowd and the people, yes, yes, cheering, cheering. Okay, now here's the thing, friends. If this was any other, like, if this was a book club meeting or like, you know, a sports fans club meeting, a lot of people will be like, boring, cringe. But in crypto, because you are dealing with people who are allocating capital, you and I have an opportunity to front run this and to retire. So it actually makes an impact for the good of your life and your friends and your family. You can actually leave your workplace earlier if you wish to. You can keep working if you want, but it gives you options. You don't have to stress about not having enough money to pay the bills. You don't have to stress about these things anywhere near as much as you've been taught to your whole life, because a lot of people, friends, they don't even believe that they're entitled to get rich, okay? So we're going to go through this. Look at this. So when you truly understand the psychology of Richard Hart, you'll understand why his PulseChain core coins are going to pump. Huge pump to the heavens and ultimately trap people. Now, there's something we have to be clear about, okay? So, friends, let me show you the HEX price chart. Let me show you the real HEX price chart, okay? Let's actually put it on a linear chart, okay? When you see this, okay, what do you think, friends? You think the same thing as me. Pump, dump, trapped. All these people who buy here, you think trapped. You're all trapped, okay? You and I, we're not leaders of a coin. We didn't make a coin. We didn't make a community, okay? Obviously, I've made a community, but you know, you get it. We didn't make like this level of empire, okay? So you and I are thinking about the individual. You and I think about, oh man, I'm trapped here and I've got to wait forever. Man, that sucks. That's what you and I are thinking about, okay? But the founder, Richard Hart, his personality type, he doesn't see it as a trap, okay? He sees it as winning. He sees it as a lot of people who are in for the ride in the next cycle. It's a win. Okay? I need you to understand this, and it's extremely important. I've got to repeat, you and I are individuals. We just think about ourselves, okay? But the master, the God, the founder, someone who's looking at everybody, they see it as a collective. They don't think about, oh, Timmy's trapped from 40 cents. Hex house seller Mikey, he's trapped at like 40 cents, okay? He's not literally thinking about it. And I actually have the prices like marked here if you want to check it out, right? TradingView actually deleted the levels, but he's up from like 40 cents, right? Now, like, you know, PHEX is down to like 2 cents, yes? Now, he has not said these specifically, but this is, it all makes sense once you go through it, okay? He views this, friends, it's not a trap. The big pump, it's not a trap. It's a spiritual enlightenment. It is an opportunity to improve, all right? It's a test of character and faith. Okay, that's why, friends, I'm dressed like a religious Jedi, and I've got the Holy Bible here literally with me. Okay, so if Richard could trap more people, he would. All right, and I'm using the word trap. Why? Because you and me, we think about just ourselves. Okay, he's thinking a bigger picture. But you got to understand this, right? Because it's eventually going to lead to pDAI pegging, and it's eventually going to lead to the turbo hyperloop, and it's eventually going to lead to prices unfathomably huge. Okay, so I almost guarantee, friends, he is literally. By the way, he is laughing. He laughs at crypto people. Why? Some pity, some like, you know, he's looking down on them because crypto people, we complain when we go down for 3 years and we have to wait 4 years to make our money back in the cycles. But in the stock market and property world, to make it, you have to wait 20 or sometimes 30 years to make it. Because the stock market and property, they're only growing at like 7% per year. So that's about a double every 10 years. So you get a double, and then a double, and then a double. That's 2, and then 4, and then 8. And if you've been DCAing the whole way, oh, congratulations, you get 8 times on your money after like 20 or 30 years. Trash, absolute trash compared to crypto, yeah. Crypto, friends, we're growing at 50% per year. So in like, 5 years, we're up like 16x or something stupid, right? Something ridiculous like that, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is play some angel music just to smooth it over here for you, because once you look at Richard here, look at him sitting on the chair here. But I shake you weak hands, okay? It's very, very common, friends. There's tweets of Richard showing like, he says stuff like, first I put a spicy tweet to shake out the weak hands. So this is exactly like God being disappointed that his worshippers are complaining about the thunderstorm, okay? So imagine Richard sees people in the cycle, the part of the community, they have the opportunity to make money, up, goes down, okay? And then it's like, people out there, they're like yelling at the clouds. They're saying, why are you raining on me? Why? And God's looking down on his people and he's saying, hey, I gave you life. I gave you love. I gave you a family. I even gave you pet squirrels in the trees. And you're yelling about this? All right. And remember, and humans, friends, we are like this. We are like this. The Bible's full of people questioning God. Why do you do this, huh? Why do you do this? And God's like, well, the stories, right? He's like, well, I've done like 50 nice things for you. Why are you complaining about this one? Okay, so you gotta understand this. See, friends, when you read the Bible, you don't think about it from the perspective of God. You think about it from the perspective of a worshiper, and so do I. Richard, he thinks about it from the perspective of God. He does. I almost guarantee you he does, okay? Because there's things that happen in this journey of the PulseChain community where only a super smart guy like that who knows these Bible biblical stories and knows how humans react and how they hate you one moment and love you the next, right? He can get away with that because he knows we accept things, friends. We accept too many things. We get over stuff of the past. It really is a cycle, okay? It is a cycle. Nothing is basically static. And I even read right here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Richard is most likely fascinated by the biblical stories of God where he whispers to people from heaven, okay? And even how people still come to worship despite all the things and the plagues and the thunders and the earthquakes that get stricken on the people, okay? They still come and worship. So I bet you never thought about that. Okay, friends, I almost guarantee you, it's implicitly built into his programming. He's like, oh, wait, this God that you blame everything for, everything bad, you still come to worship, right? You still worship, you still believe. Okay, there's something to be said about that. So how does this tie to price? Well, it most likely, friends, it means, okay, that he doesn't believe in the Binance BNB style of a pump, which I can actually show you. Now, if you go to the BNB BTC chart, okay, this is CZ's chart, friends. I'll put on a weekly. So CZ, friends, CZ believes you should gradually and gently pump your coin, all right? And he wants it to gradually and gently, all right? If you look at this pump, from here to here, you know, it does like a 4 or 5x. Maybe the next one does like a 2 or 3. And he actually mentioned it in one of his interviews. He's like, oh yeah, he said, he used these very careful words. He goes, oh yeah, we're happy if BNB just like, you know, slightly overperforms Bitcoin. It's kind of funny how they're like, he doesn't want to pump BNB too much because he didn't want it to be better than rank number 3. Did you know that on coin rankings? That's why it's always Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then rank 3 is BNB, right? And I actually show you the rankings now. So BNB is under Solana, but yes, they'll always be around that fence. Like they could scam it and put it higher if they really wanted to. But isn't it interesting? It's interesting that CZ's personality, his psychology, is not a conqueror. Okay, Richard's a conqueror. Richard's like, no, I've got the better Bitcoin. Why can't we have that? Right? It's a very entrepreneurial, very like I said, the word conqueror, like a warlord personality type, is very, very true when it comes to this. And if you're an investor or you're an angel investor, like you're like, oh, I'm betting on that dude. I'm definitely betting on that dude. Okay, not financial advice. I'm just telling you, like, yeah, I want to be. Don't you want to be on the team who the guy's like, no, we deserve to win. We want to win. Okay, because friends, a lot of this stuff, it manifests as well when you really, really deserve. That's why, friends, a lot of you know the Schizo memes of crypto. The Schizo memes have big potential because the Schizo memes, the founders, they're actually skits. Like in their world, yeah, the Earth is flat. Or any other thing that they've decided on, or like, yeah, this is the real, you know, ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama. So these things, I'm telling you, this manifestation and this thought, it goes more powerful than people think. So you want to know, right? What does it mean for price? So you and I, friends, when we see like that big pump that I showed you, okay, like right here, okay, you see this big pump. HEX did a 10,000x, right? When you and I see that, yeah, we're seeing, oh, crap, that's a trap, hasn't come back yet. He sees it as an awakening. What I'll do now, friends, I'll play some nice, some Halo music. An awakening? All right. Yes. So, when you're in there, you strong believers, you are locked into the ecosystem now, and it becomes a biblical experience, right? This is the HEX price chart. Your faithful believers get in on the red down here, and then you have the big pump. Okay, the pump is what you call the trap. See, it depends on your perspective though. It's the trap, no, or maybe Richard just sees it. Oh, these are the people who will onboard the cycle after that because they're all into it, right? It's almost like if there's a city that gets struck by maybe a tsunami wave and there are people still there and they're just rebuilding, and that's basically the bear market, and they're like, this is a great city, we've got great weather, we have great people, it's still a great place to live, okay? It's that equivalent out here. But when you're playing God in the ecosystem and these macro market forces, it's like periodic. God comes in, wipes everybody out, everybody curses, everything comes back up, then the euphoria comes again, and then so it all repeats. So you got to understand, yes, the higher Richard pumps his coins, the more people he locks in, like an investment for 4 years, who will constantly shield the bags. Now you understand as well why HEX, the better Bitcoin, has that 15-year staking as well. All right? It's a temple offering to the gods. It's also, by the way, part of his marketing thesis. He says, well, if you're in for if you're staked long term, we have mindshare, you keep shitting the bags. You see, you don't just forget about it. And that's why, friends, if you're curious why is there a penalty for HEX if you don't end stake? It's because he wants you to be penalized if you don't have mindshare. You're not thinking about the coin. If you just wake up in 8 years and you got a big fat bag, he doesn't want you to do that with HEX. He doesn't want you to be earning all the yield of everybody else's hard work, which is actually, it's very smart, very forward thinking. So in the community, right, everybody's trapped. Yeah, it's very high price, okay? But many people will still respect Richard the Savior. Like I said with God, right? God in the Bible is filled God kills one of the sons or tells somebody to kill the son. There's so many stories of these, like the Old Testament out here, right? And some people, though, as Richard knows and expects, we all know, they will lose faith to the scams and the cheating. He always would warn people, like, my people, these scams and these clones are going to come out. They're going to try to take your money. They're going to tell you every trick in the book. By the way, I saw in a Telegram, a gentleman literally quoted to me. He said, hey, Richard warned us that everybody would try every trick in the book to get you to sell his coins. And that's exactly what's happening with pDAI now. So he's got a point, though. He's got a point. Like this guy, he wants Richard to say the words, tell me to buy the coin. He can tell you, though, Habib. He can tell you when it's like 90 cents. He's like, oh, I told you. You still made money, right? But deep down, you'll be cursing God. No, why didn't you tell me to buy it earlier? It's like, well, I told you to buy it. You see? And I won't be surprised if Richard tells everybody about pDAI at like maybe 99 cents. Hey, you made money. Everybody made money, right? But the believers didn't need him to actually say it. So when he uses this pDAI, friends, because the journey is right, pDAI it's got a peg to $1 using the OA funds. Richard's got most of the pDAI. Then he can use that, and everyone else can use that. And then they buy up the PulseChain core coins, and they will go tremendously high. And I'm actually going to show you some charts to give you an idea, friends. Like we're talking some enormous numbers. Now, TradingView is being actually very racist, and they have changed the price charts here. But what we can do now, we just change it to a weekly. So it's like 0.7x day one sack. Like, friends, I wouldn't just anything can happen, man. Like, you just with the turbo loop, friends, like you could do something absolutely wacky like this, where you just 100x pump. Pulse gets to like 1 cent, and then we do like a vicious all the way back drop in the next bear market. That'll be insane. Like a 90, you never know, 95% drop. Maybe it comes like to 4x day one sack, whatever it is. All right. So I just want you to think about this. So when Richard pumps bags to the heavens, he will make a note of it. Like he does make a note. He knows these things. So that when the bear market comes, you know, people are going to start to worship false idols, turn their back on God, Savior, the leader. Metaphorical, of course. But you got to think about, okay, what would God be thinking out there when he sees people curse his name because they like lost money on a sports bet? Because people do that. Like, it's, oh, you know, have the hatred. Like, oh, why this happened to me? Why me, huh? Why luck? You know, and I joke here with the quote, I gave you life. I gave you love, a family, good health. But the Denver Broncos suck ass this year, and suddenly you're not in a good mood anymore? What's wrong with you? Just think about it from the perspective of God to see that, right? It's kind of funny, friends. Like, I feel like I'm a preacher now. I'm like giving a sermon, you know, like a ceremony at church. It's kind of funny because that's what it's like, guys. This is what it's like. We're living in a new digital nation. Okay, these new things have popped up. It's countries without borders. So Richard is watching. Only the strong believers will make it. And you know who should already know this? The original HEX community. Now, friends, I mean, for the grand finale, look at this. Like, the original HEX OGs, friends, went down 98%. It went all the way down. Why do you think nobody bought the bottom? Because there was no bottom. It dropped 98% from day one adoption amplifier. There you go. See? There's no volume done at the bottom. Of course, like Johnny Chaos, a few guys just like randomly got in. You know what I mean? But then it does a 10,000x. Wild. But it seems to be repeating as well with the pDAI prophecy, friends. Remember, friends, as well, God, he gives life. Remember the whole archetype story of these? They give life. They give so much. And then like they taketh. You see? It's like the opportunity of life. Like I give you free will to go through all of these. And there's also these truths out here that people can't handle. Have a listen to this bonus clip of me just explaining this archetype a bit more. Watch. Humans, no one's ever had like an individual come out and show them this truth about themselves. That's why that's why a lot of people hate him when they see him, because they can't handle the truth. You know, the first thing he said is you just want to see the price chart go up. You see, so literally humans can't handle the truth. They're like, wait a minute. I'm a human. Yes, the human experience is to be gifted life and then just beaten and bruised your whole life. You age, your limbs get more sore, your muscles waste away. There's death and all these other sadness and sickness in the world as well. And Richard Tarr is like, we'll see. But that's a cycle. You go through that already. Why are you complaining? Do you go? So, yes, friends, in the Bible, it is like that. There is like all these like whippings and lashings and just punishment over and over and over again. And they still, the cycle comes back, right? They come back. Okay, we just continue this cycle of life. And you got to remember, Richard, friends, he's hyper logical. Okay, is hyper logical means like there's like almost too much truth that he can see with humans. Like we do patterns that we do that you and I, we don't think about it, but he thinks about it. He's like, oh, it's just a cycle. Like you're happy one day, you're sad the next. Okay, but it takes it like you can use specific examples like that. That's why it's so easy to see this in the Bible, right? Because like God gives you stuff, you're happy, and a thunderstorm comes, or you stub your toe, you're super mad. You get it? So he sees this, and that's why like one of his biggest truths, right? When he said, "Oh, you just care about the green candles." You know, friends, still to today, that's literally one of. He was the first dude. He was literally the first dude to just tell people, you guys don't actually care about the tech, man. You just literally care about just green candles. That's it. All right. Now, of course, people said it before him, but like the first guy to actually like synthesize it and like promote it like that. Okay. It's such like it was staring everyone in the face. Like, what do you mean? We're here for the tech. We're here for decentralization. We're here for all these other things. It's like, no, he's not. You just want the price to go up, man. You literally just want the price to go up. But also, I've been able to add on to that because price go up with Metcalfe's law, it means that more people join the network. So it's like you just want to be on something that's growing. You want more people to join after you. But actually, that's what life is. People who buy houses, they want the price to go up. They want the number to go up. They want more people to be born, more people to join the city, more wealth to come in so that they can dump on them later. Everything works that way. Look at the type of abuse Richard gets when he makes HEX as well. Saifadean, I think you must understand Bitcoin. Must misunderstand. I would like to point out a few things you might have missed. Let's have a chat. We can live stream if you like. Saifadean, I think you should go F yourself and your stupid poop coin. Blocked. So you check that out, friends. Remember, Saifadean and Moose, he wrote the Bitcoin standard. All right. So just the type of stuff that he gets, friends. Richard sees this. I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is Jesus walking through. They're like, blasphemy! Blasphemy! Lock him up! You see? It's like a ruler, it's like a conqueror. Now, you need to understand this. Why you need to understand this? Because it means the absolute pump of a lifetime has higher odds than anywhere else. It does now. Because if pDAI pegs, all right, if pDAI actually pegs, friends, these are the combined HEX prices. Luckily for us, TradingView hasn't reset them. I'm not even joking, man. We're looking at, we've got to put this on a log chart. Like, friends, this literally, he can do the hyper loop. He can send this to $1, $2, $3. He can. He can. Because of the hyper loop where you back the pDAI. Now, I don't know if it's exactly going to be this, but I'm just giving an example. Yeah. It backs the pDAI, and then he uses the pDAI to buy up the core coins, which go up in price, but that allows him to mint more collateral tokens, to borrow more on it, pretty much from the maker vault. And then you can get more pDAI and then pump it up, and then pump it up, and then pump it up. It's actually wild. Of course, he'd have to do it in a safe way to make sure there's no liquidation. That's why I'm saying, man, he's the billionaire, not me. You know, he's the one who's gone through thousands of these things, not me, not you. So he knows exactly the ratios. He's probably looked at, okay, how many redemptions are there in Tether? See, this is another thing, friends. I was going to make a full video on this. You know, even in 2022, the lunar collapse, Tether only did a redemption of like 20% of their stablecoins. So they went from about 85 billion market cap down to 65 billion. Okay, so the only thing that's a bit interesting, how in the midst of a stablecoin crisis, only 25% of Tether was asked to be redeemed. Everybody else just believed it would hold. Think about this. There was no upside. There was literally no upside for Tether. I can actually show you this. This is the price chart for Tether, and you click on market cap, friends. And then what you can do is you press log, See log? So you can go look what happened in 20. Actually, let's put it on a, let's remove log. See this, friends? It was at 85 billion. It goes down to 65 in 2022. Interesting. There is no upside. There's literally infinite downside. Only 25% of people redeemed. Interesting. That's why I'm telling you, friends. I'm telling you, get your lollipop ready. Because Rich, see, this is why, friends, he's smart. He looks at stuff like that, you know? He probably looked at that and he's like, oh, if they only redeem 25% of Tether in the midst of a stablecoin crisis, then we can actually peg without Ethereum needing to be $30,000. Maybe he only needs Ethereum at 10,000 or 15,000 or even less. Do you see? This blew my mind when I did this myself. I looked at it myself. I go, I wonder how much Tether redeemed in the midst of this chaos. You want to see even more chaos and nutty stuff? USDC, friends. So Circle peaked at 55 billion. And then even after their depegging crisis, they go down to 25 billion. They lose about 50%. Isn't that wild? But look at this, friends. Around 2022, they T-peg here. You see that? We go from 44 billion down to like 28. Just like it's just weird. Like, there's no upside. It's a stable coin. It's already $1. And they all stay there. It's like, it's funny. They're believers of the coin. They're just like, oh, well, we're just holding, whatever. Interesting. Well, they just move and swap around. I wonder if Richard's looking at that. And he's like, oh, for pDAI, most people see this. So I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right, friends, remember. But I could almost imagine Richard Hart making a stream and saying, I can blow people's minds in crypto. You know, you don't need a stable coin to be fully pegged for it to peg. You don't need to have a complete backing. Did you know USDT didn't? You know, your Circle doesn't. USDC, you need a certain ratio, but you don't need 100%. Because not everybody ever solves all of one asset at one time. So to summarize all this, friends, yeah, HEX could be a couple of bucks. PulseChain probably could hit 1 cent. Same as PulseX. He can do the Hyperloop. He can do it. And you can't think about, oh, what if people get trapped? No. His goal is to trap them. From our perspective, his goal is to get that. They are shillers of the next cycle. He would rather see CZ. He'd rather get in like, okay, let's get 100,000 people in. They'll all win like that. Yeah. Richard doesn't care if he gets 100 million people in and only like 1 million sell, which is what Marcus like. He doesn't give a shit. He wants them all. And he likes that. He's like, oh, you're locked in. You own my coin. I have mindshare with you now forever. See? You understand this when you understand this archetype, everything he's doing is to get this. Yeah, we might do this amazing pump. It might drop like 98% in the next bear market. I'm going to finish with this Coinfession direct, friend. Look at this. Bitcoin. I'm not really religious. I've never been. Bitcoin is the closest I have come to religion. I can see why a change in religion or politics affects a relationship. Bitcoin has changed me and my whole belief system and outlook on the world. My husband thinks I'm crazy and I'm dismissive of these beliefs. Words like cult and fringe come up. I feel very distant from my husband, and the thought pops in my head from time to time that maybe I should divorce to find someone like-minded for this journey. And I feel so guilty. It seems silly even when I think about it to disrupt your whole life for Bitcoin. But I can't shake the thought. My lady, if you're listening out there, I'm going to give you a nipple tweak to pump your Bitcoin bags because your husband will believe at a price. Okay? Bitcoin at 100K has not converted your husband. There is a price he converts at though. There is a price. All right? I don't know what it is. It could be 200,000. It could be 250,000. There will be a price though. He will be converted. And that's why, friends, I'm telling you, there will be a price that pDAI converts people. Okay? There is going to be a price. It already did the 10,000 next mark from 0.00018 up to 1.8 cents. It's already done that. But let's carry that on through. Maybe it'll be 10 cents. I don't know. Other people get converted. HEX will also have a conversion price. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be something up here, friends. Who knows? It could be 5 cents. It could be 20, 25. People get converted along the way. Mark my words, there is a price that we have to get to that makes people start to believe. Okay? Memes, cults, religions. All right? Pump funners, they're happy to stay with like 6 kids cheating and rugging each other in the meme. When you're a cult, you get some scarcity there and you're working because you're like, everyone has to hear this message. And when you finally become a religion, it's a way of life. Okay? There are prices for these with just the number of people in the network, funny enough. It's great. So that's why analyzing Richard Hart. Who is Richard Hart? Now you understand who he is. In his mind, he's God. He's a God. Leader, founder, the savior. It doesn't matter what term you use. You get it. The archetype is there. And you understand leader, warlord, conqueror. These words come out. You see what's happening now. So it's like in every fiber of his being, he's like, I've got to grab as many people to get in as possible. By the way, chances are he made you join. Hey, do you remember the PulseChain sacrifice? Remember the PulseX sacrifice? You've been on this journey. Everything we're on now, here I am. I'm like channeling his word out to the community to let them know what's happening. Whispers from God. Oh, whispers, whisper, whisper. It's kind of funny, friends. But yes, once you understand this is like, it's the ace of spades, friends, because this is your home run. You only need one in life, by the way. Warren Buffett always says, you literally just need one, okay? And then the next goal is to keep the money, not to fumble it, okay? Oh, it's kind of funny, Richard. Friends, HEX is like a religion, pretty much. He gave you like, hey, I can give you a tool so that you don't fumble it. It's called a 15-year HEX ladder stake. Something comes out like every 6 months for yourself so you don't stumble your stack. You don't fumble your bag. Oh, we're going so much higher, friends. pDAI must get to $1. The core coins, my gosh. Imagine the core coins are already up like 5x from today when pDAI is $1. That's like, okay, now the game's starting at that point. Wow. That'd be funny. Funny, crazy, sexy, cool. You're my friend. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.